Welcome back to Fast Money. CME Group moving its trading systems to the Google Cloud. Shares of the futures exchange hitting an all-time high on the news of this partnership. Google also making a $1 billion equity investment in the CME. Joining us in a CNBC exclusive, Terry Duffy, CME Group Chairman and CEO and friend of Fast Money. Terry, it's always great to speak with you. Thanks.
Well, first of all, I want to make sure I wish you a very happy birthday. I would sing to you, but my throat's a little sore after talking with my board over the last several days about this deal.
Well, I appreciate the thoughts, though, Terry. And I'll cash in the rain check for the singing another birthday. That's for sure.
Well,
when I
do that.
When I read through all the things that this partnership brings to CME, I think of cost savings. What is the primary benefit, in your view, of this long-term partnership?
Well, I mean, cost savings is something you can easily point to, Melissa, because that's kind of a bright, shiny object. But really, it's the expansion and growth of the business. When you look at the way the world is going today, from my standpoint, you know, revenue streams come and they go. And every revenue stream is associated with technology. And when you have a new idea about an application or a new procedure that you want to bring into your organization, you have to have the technology associated with it. Sometimes those technology inputs could take years to implement, and the revenue streams might be on a different place, and if you're second, you're last. So this is another way for us to capture revenues on a real-time basis, getting under the Google umbrella, which is so large and so vast, putting CME's infrastructure in here and allowing us to grow our business exponentially. So I am really excited about the growth perspectives of this. Yes, there are cost savings to CME, but the real story here is about the growth.
Terry, as you know, I'm a big fan of Pink, and one of her songs was Raise Your Glass, and I'm raising it to you because since you took over at CME, I mean, just look at what the stock has done in those 6 years, I think 6 or 7 years. It's been pretty remarkable. But to the extent that you can share this, how does something like this, how does it take place? Do you reach out to them? They reach out to you? It's a fascinating deal that's unprecedented, I think, for exchanges.
Yeah, and without getting into too much of the proprietary details, Guy, I actually reached out to them. You know, during the pandemic, I was sitting there thinking, what's the world going to look like in the next 5 years? You know, you have a lot of opportunities to reflect. Once you know that your family is safe and protected, when we were first going through the pandemic, reached out to a few participants and had the pleasure of getting very close to some of the folks at Google, giving them my thoughts about how we could transform the financial services industry with technology and how a strategic partner could make this happen. Google understood that concept of a strategic partner. They understood that this was not just a cloud services agreement, this was a partnership. And they had that, they shared my vision on that, Guy, and so did my board, and so did their board. So that's really how it happened, and it's been about a year process in the making, and I am extremely excited to bring this to my company, my shareholders, and most importantly, my clients.
Hey, Terry, it's Tim. Yes, congrats on the deal. So the $1 billion preferred investment that they're taking in CME Group, can you talk about, at least again, you know, that commitment that they're making to capital markets? This is their first real foray there. But again, what the technology element of this could mean. When I saw that headline, it said essentially transforming global derivatives markets via technology. And as you said, this is a partnership. Is part of that investment in something of specifics you could talk about?
You know, not really. The $1 billion investment is really Google's commitment to a strategic partnership to show that this is not just a cloud services agreement. They share the vision. So they needed skin in the game to have that vision. So the money, you know, we'll use the money in certain different ways, but it wasn't about the dollars, you know, from CME Group. We're a AA plus rated company, so it wasn't about getting capital. We didn't need the capital. Sure. It was about the investment, and it was about an investment in the idea about how we could distribute these markets, how we could potentially democratize trading of these markets going forward by eliminating the latency issues associated for every single individual, about creating efficiencies for the 103 million open positions worth trillions of dollars of risk transfer for clients, from everything from mortgages to corn to every other product that we have sitting on our clearinghouse today. How do we make that business more cost effective for those participants? And then allow me to go ahead and run the business and not have to worry about so much about running the technology associated with it. So I can bring in new ideas, as I said earlier, and not have to worry about, can my tech department deliver this or not? They've done an amazing job. Guy said it a moment ago, we've grown so much, it's hard to keep up with it. And when you grow like that, you just need to get under a bigger umbrella in technology, or these ideas will come and go, and they'll go to somebody else. We can't afford to let that happen. I won't let it happen. So I think that's a big part of it.
Terry, you mentioned latency issues and settlement, and I'm wondering if you see under this, partnership, a settlement go way down, maybe to immediate or T+1. I mean, what are you foreseeing?
Well, we're already, unless, as you know, in our world, we're already real-time settlement. So we don't have T1. In the derivatives world, it's real-time settlement. We're mark-to-market every single day. So we don't have those issues. I think when you look at the artificial intelligence and the other machine learning that Google has today, with our infrastructure going into that and how we expand that into other businesses, that's really where the excitement comes from. Also on the cyber issues, Google's cyber security is something that is a superior cybersecurity offering. That's another benefit to myself and my clients here at CME Group. So there's just so many benefits, but it really has nothing to do with settlements as far as time of settlement, because today we're already at real-time settlements.
Right. Terry, great to speak with you. Thanks as always.
Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Terry Duffy of the CME. The CME is the most valuable market exchange in the world right now at $79 billion in market cap. Steve Grasso, what do you think?
Yeah, the exchanges have been doing well. CME has been doing well. Terry's been doing a great job, as Guy had said there. I was interested in what he said as far as cybersecurity, because there's risks, and I wonder if there's more outsized risks. That's why financial services companies don't go to the cloud, and they haven't readily used this alternative. So I would have liked to have seen how he gets over that hump mentally and why he's so secure about going with Google. I think he just did say that about their cybersecurity. I would say that if this is going to be the trend for financial services going forward, then the financial services community could become a huge tailwind to AWS, which is Amazon, to Microsoft, and to Google, as Terry had mentioned. So this is another way to build out their cloud businesses if now all of a sudden all of the financial community is going to go full in.
And they have been jockeying into the financial services industry. It's a little bit difficult because of the regulatory landscape. But, Guy, I'm just wondering what you think of CME Group in general. In addition to partnerships like this, Terry has been moving aggressively into new products like mini contracts to cater to retail investors and sort of the new, the growth area here in terms of the new people in the markets.
Yeah, I said it at the start. I'll say it again. I mean, he's been ahead of the curve every step of the way since he took over the helm of CME Group. The stock proves it. I mean, if you don't believe me, just look at the chart of the stock when he took over and look at the growth they've seen. And I think it continues to grind higher. There have been fits and starts along the way, but this is a stock, in my opinion, will continue to go higher. You mentioned all-time high today. It did. It pulled back a little bit, but I think in a week from now we'll talk about the same thing. By the way, quickly, the other name we talk about in the same space is the NASDAQ, which is remarkable. They reported earnings, had a bit of a sell-off, right back to all-time highs again, justifiably so.